Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Danielle. I'll be your host as we discuss Awakening Starseeds Volume 2. Today we have a very special guest with us, Gina Harris. She's a co-creator, co-author in Awakening Starseeds of Volume 2. Hello, Gina. Welcome to...
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing so good today. I'm really excited to have you here and have everyone dive into the author of what was the name of your chapter?
Spacecraft experience and family.
Okay, so diving into spacecraft experience. But before we get into that, I do want to hear about you and a little bit of your background.
Well, I'm a single mom and I was born and raised in San Francisco, particularly the Haight-Ashbury. So that had a lot of cultural influence on my being very open to all types of experiences and people. There are more diverse people in San Francisco, particularly the Haight-Ashbury, back in the day when I was growing up, that it's really exposed me to so many different cultures. Okay. And so a lot of people will say, hey, you must have been Chinese in the past life. You love Chinese food. Hey, you must have been Indian in the past life. You dress Indian and you love Indian food and you burn incense. So I just have totally taken on so many different cultures and loves for diversity that I'm a chameleon.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay.
I moved to Los Angeles when I was 18, and I was searching for a talent scout or some way to expose my vocal talent, my acting talent, my modeling talent. I wanted to do something with Hollywood, but that got a little derailed. And it was really for the best. I tell everybody that I became a young mom at 20 years old, and my kids really saved me, because during that time it was a huge crack epidemic in Los Angeles. And because I was a single mom, I wasn't able to get involved with partying and drugs, and so many of my friends got caught up in the crack epidemic, and a lot of trials and tribulations occurred to them and their children. And I just was saved by my two kids. I tell that to everybody. And eventually moved back home and love the Bay Area, especially the South Bay area, Hayward and Fremont. I love the South Bay area. San Jose is such a cool place. Gilroy. I don't want to leave Gilroy out. Oh my gosh. And then I moved to the Sonoma wine country to be closer to my mother, who still lives there. And what an experience. Sonoma is middle-aged Haight-Ashbury. If you can wrap your mind around that, you'll meet people in Sonoma, Guerneville, Rio Neto, Montero, Santa Rosa, Sebastopol, really Sebastopol and Cotati, that used to hang out in the Haight-Ashbury, but now they're middle-aged, and they're selling their crafts, they're selling their precious stones, they've got tie-dye, they've got, other entertainment of the green nature, CBD and others. And so it's legal now. It's legal now.
It's very much legal. Well, maybe not where I'm at, but it will be one day.
So it was just like a renaissance of the Haight-Ashbury when I moved to Sonoma. And so, oh my gosh, what a wonderful experience. But the drawback with Sonoma is you've got to be independently wealthy to live there.
Mm-hmm.
So I found myself needing to be creative, think
Mm.
out of the box, and do something that can sustain me and my children. And that's kind of what brought me to Texas
Okay.
was work. And so fast forward, here I am.
Now you're living in a warmer climate too, because California could be really warm, but I don't know. Parts of Texas is very humid. Yeah. So,
Yes, if you go south, if you're in like Houston and
mm-hmm.
Galveston and even Austin can get kind of humid. But for
Uh-huh.
some reason, Dallas is actually North Texas. It's a far North Texas. And it's so close to the Oklahoma border. It's almost has that it has that Midwestern climate. It's kind of dry almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when so when you moved from Sonoma to Texas, was that recent or maybe
That was
like
about 8 years ago.
okay, so you've
So
been
not recent.
so you've been in
Not
Texas for a
recent,
while.
but pretty recent.
Awesome. Okay, so what does the word starseed mean to you?
Woo!
Where do you start?
Yeah, exactly. I hope I won't go on too long.
I'll stop
Starseed
you.
to me is is a person who is given a mission
Mm-hmm.
to um, further mankind's development and evolution and ascension
Okay.
in one way or another. To sum it up really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and there are varying levels of star seeds. You know, you have your scientific star seeds, your
Mm.
Teslas, you know, and you have your other star seeds that are like Mother Teresa and people who have literally changed the world through their presence on being on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have other people, you know, that have done uh unnamed works, but the world would be a different place, you know, without them,
Yeah.
because there's so many pieces to that jigsaw puzzle that that fits into the big picture of, you know, mankind's evolution and ascension.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Well said. So, could you give us a sneak peek into your chapter of Awakening Starseed in Volume 2?
Well, the chapter is about several different experiences,
Okay.
and the most significant chapter is the spacecraft experience,
Mm-hmm.
and because it was just so life altering. Um, so I tell about um, my, you know, my teleportation experience, my interaction with some beings. Um, it was truly a a strange experience. And and what's so compelling about the chapter is that I was explaining how I was feeling and thinking in the chapter, and I'm sort of thinking out loud, where why I'm asking myself, why are they asking me to do this? You know, if they have the capability to transport you to their craft, then why are they worried about germs? You know, I'm thinking this in my mind, and um, and I realized that during the course of the encounter, that they're people too, that they're just people too,
Mm.
and So I had to really wrap my mind around uh these aren't angels, these aren't gods, they don't have, omnipotent power. They're people too, and they
Mm-hmm.
they have concerns about, we all know they have concerns about our environment, germs, different things. So
Right.
I had to really um calm myself down and really um be logical about my experience.
Wow. Would you say that that experience is what led you to your spiritual awakening, or was it prior to that experience?
Personal awakening. Well,
Well, yeah, yeah, your personal spiritual awakening, did it occur prior to these experiences, or did it happen after you had the experience?
it happened after.
Okay.
It happened after. And the other part of the chapter where I'm speaking with an angelic type being who um, was sent to send me a message. That was the point where my life was changed. That was the point where my life was changed, because there's a person standing in my room, but me thinking out loud again, the logical side of
Mm-hmm.
my Aquarian nature is saying, hey, there's a strange person in your room, but you're not scared. Why is that?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You felt a connection, it sounds, in some way, right? Was there like a connection, or
I
did it
can't
just feel
say if it was a
familiar?
connection. I can't say if it was a connection. I'm not sure. Um, I don't have all the answers, but I remember having these conversations in my mind,
Uh-huh.
and and I'm thinking, this is odd. The whole
Okay.
experience was odd because, you know, whatever they did, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid. And one of
Hmm.
the things that I remember as I was writing out the chapter, um, and I believe I mentioned that, where I said, there's a strange person in the room, but I wasn't afraid. It reminded me of all the scriptures that I read in the Bible where different prophets and different people have come in contact with angelic beings, and they have said, be not afraid, be not afraid. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you hear that phrase over and over in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very odd to me that I wasn't afraid. So the it led me to believe that they were experienced enough to remove whatever fear was there,
Hmm.
by whatever means. I mean, I don't know. We're talking about advanced technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm excited for them to read your chapter and dive a little bit more deeper into that. The reason why I ask that is because sometimes in situations like this, a spiritual awakening occurs before these type of things, or then you have it and then it triggers it, and you're like, whoa. So it sounds pretty it's pretty neutral actually. Like you actually had a really, like, I feel like you managed it well. Like your logic side really kicked in and did. Do you think that that was because of you, or are you saying it's because of their technology you were able to sustain that fear or
It
anxiety?
it it could be both.
Okay.
It could be both, but
Hmm.
I'm going to lean more towards it was more me
Okay.
and my upbringing and
Hmm.
my parental grooming and my societal grooming, and um, just everything that led up to that made it to where it was something that I could cope with and that I could handle. And it was actually just, to be honest with you, it was just a normal occurrence. It was one of those things that, oh, wow,
You are open-minded. I mean, a triple Aquarius. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a very unique experience. So there were a total of three, you said? or presume there could be more, but
There,
the book you
there,
just spoke on.
there was a total of 3.
Okay.
There was a total of 3 that I wrote about. I mean, there's many more that I could talk about, but those were the significant ones. I mean,
Wow.
whoa.
Cool. Whoa, knowing that there was more after too, aside from the ones you wrote
Oh
about.
yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, woo, whoa.
And do you remember them all vividly, or does it kind of come to you in like pockets of like
They
at
they
different times?
come in pockets,
Mhm.
different fragrances, different scenery, different
Mm.
deja vus will occur, and then I'll remember different little things. I'll remember different things. And
Wow.
one of the things that I remember occurring that's not in the book was multiple visits um, in a craft. And here's what's weird. I I always was navigating and letting them know, okay, right here is where you let me off. But I got it wrong a couple of times. And so I had to walk further than I was supposed to, because I was looking at 2 pine trees. I'm going to tell you, I was looking at 2 pine trees. And in Sonoma, there's pine trees that kind of come to a point all over the place, but these 2 pine trees were my landmark. But there's another set of pine trees right after that.
Oh, okay. So
And so, doggone it, I came upon those pine trees and I said, okay, here's my stop. And so I'm out walking, on the road, and this is the wrong damn location. I got to walk a couple of miles to get to my house. This is the
oh
wrong
geez.
place. And so I'm walking down the street and dogs are barking and owls are hooting and I'm scared.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean
out in
anything.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
It's dark and they're gone. They are gone. And I
Wow.
have to walk a couple of miles to get home. Oh my God.
That's scary. I mean, when you're especially in that area, I mean, anything could be out there. I mean, it's a pretty open area.
Anything is
Yeah.
out there. There's
Mm-hmm.
coyotes,
Mm-hmm.
there's mountain lions, even
Yeah.
if you're way up high.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't worried about the creatures. I was worried about getting run over by a car, a weirdo coming
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Someone happens to be there at the same time.
I just
Well,
like
this is your
that,
stop too?
and then I'm hitting myself in the head. I was just like, you did this the last time.
Oh
Why do you
gosh.
keep forgetting this is the wrong Twin Pines? You got to go to the next set, because I did it a couple of times and I was so mad at myself.
Well, I'm glad you made it safely because you're here with us now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Ah,
Well, what inspired you to be a co-author with Rada Publishing? How did and the overall contributing process of it?
well, I went to a disclosure conference, and
Oh,
that's how I met Rada.
oh,
And I was needing some answers
mm,
that, um, and that's really the start of it. I was needing some answers, and I met Maya, and I got a lot of the answers.
good.
But it's kind of like you you've got a taste for carrots and you've got a craving, but you just want the carrots. And the side effect is your vision improves. And so
Oh,
the side effect is, the Starseeds Volume 2 is it resulted in the chance meeting.
mm,
But I really needed some answers. And I got a lot of those answers.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure you'll get more, going on, moving forward in life.
Well, yeah, some
Yeah,
things just have to unfold.
right. Exactly. Oh, well, that's interesting. So, since you're a part of the second series now, did you get an opportunity to be a part of the creative process? Did you ever meet with them, and or was this all done through Zoom? Did you meet in person prior to the
No,
session?
I never met anybody in person. I
Okay.
never met anybody in person. I met through
Okay.
Zoom, and we did a lot of Skype calls and FaceTime and phone calls, regular phone calls. And I mean, just tons and tons of talking
Okay.
and talking and talking and talking.
So the overall process for you, you felt supported and encouraged to speak your truth.
So much, so much, so much. I mean, wonderful, wonderful people.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful people to help you along in your journey, answer questions, guide you in the right direction, and just know that um, it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you don't know right now, it's going to come. It'll come later. It'll come in time for you it'll come right at the right time for
Mm-hmm.
you to use that information. Because sometimes you can't use all the information. It's brain overload.
Right. We were talking about that before we got started. Like,
Yes,
too
yes,
much
it's brain
information. It
overload.
could, yeah. Yeah.
So you're given the right amount of information at the right time to use it properly.
Mm,
Otherwise, no,
yeah.
you're gonna just be like mush, and then you're no good to anybody, not even yourself.
Gotta fill your cup. That's what I always say.
Yes,
That's funny.
yes. We were saying that.
Well, I feel with all your personal experiences in regards to this, and just probably your life, experiences personally in general outside of the star seed. What can you give our listeners a few of your golden, life lessons that you've learned throughout your life, and how it's allowed you to become the person that you are today?
Well, let me take a swig of water on that.
I thought you were about to grab your journal, be like, okay, page one. No, just kidding.
Nope. This is off the top of my head. This is off the cuff. What I've learned is that you walk a path,
Mhm.
um step by step, stone by stone, or stepping stone by stepping stone, and the stones are placed just a few feet in front of you,
Mm,
and the right stones are placed in front of you as you're walking your path in life.
mhm,
And everything that happens was for a reason. Even the bad stuff was for a reason. And even if it's just to give you knowledge of what it feels like to be, this person that's experienced this, that, or the other,
mhm,
it's to give you valuable lessons to make you a better person. And there's no accidents, there's no coincidences. It's all divinely uh brought out for you. And so you can only um use what you have, be confident in your decisions at the moment, and know that everything that's happened in the past, whether it's bad or good, has shaped you and made you the person you are today
mhm.
for a reason. And you have a divine calling, whatever it is. Whatever it is, you have a divine calling. Everybody has a divine calling, no matter, what it is. And everything, even the bad things, have shaped you to be the person you are. Because I meet all kind of people, and some people have had, horrible experiences, and you just say, you know because of that horrible experience plus other things, you're you. No one else is like you. You're unique because
Right.
of the experiences that shaped you. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. No one else is like you. You whose dad did crazy stuff to you. You whose mom this, that, and the other. You have a million different scenarios, but those scenarios make you a unique individual for a divine purpose.
I love that. It's beautiful. So, what would you tell our listeners that, like, if they had a story they wanted to share or maybe connect with product publishing, what would you tell them and about getting involved? Would you encourage them to work with them?
Well, of course. Of course. I mean, getting involved and sharing stories. One of the things that I noticed is that more and more people are coming forward sharing stories. Have you noticed that?
I have actually.
And even the weirdest um, people are getting involved in paranormal phenomena. I mean, I'm talking detectives
Mm-hmm.
and FBI people, and of course the military. They've always been involved, but other
Yeah.
individuals that are on the peripheral,
Yeah.
like private investigators and state parks workers and other different people, just of all walks of life, are coming
Mm-hmm.
forward with unique experiences. And I say, hey, get involved, let people know, and
Mm-hmm.
and find out why. Find out why. Or and when I say find out why, what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, since I know that this has happened to me and I've come to terms with it, what's the best way to move forward in my life with this information, knowing that this is, has occurred, or this, that, and the other? What's the best way to um, help other people, to help yourself, and have a fruitful life that you can be proud of by
Mm-hmm.
knowing that these different experiences have happened?
Yeah.
Some people have one, some people have multiple. But if you have just one, what are you going to do with that experience? How has it changed you?
Mm-hmm.
What can you learn from it? What can you gain from it? And how
Right.
can you help other people who are in similar situations?
Exactly. This is interesting because even now, like, with the growth in technology, it's almost in a way giving people permission to just put it out there. And like you said, a lot of people now more than ever are talking about this stuff and becoming open. So I agree with you. If you want to just get out there, say it, share it, express, it empowers us as an individual. And I think that's what's so great about your message is it's very empowering.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are not ready for it, but those
Mm-hmm.
that are can gain, knowledge and experience, and um, move forward with their evolution once they've accepted reality and the
Mm-hmm.
facts. And there's so many people that different things have happened to, that if you never say anything, no one else will know that
Yeah,
something weird happened. But if you
exactly.
go out there and you say, hey, this happened, and then other people say, hey, something similar happened to me, and then other people chime in and say, almost the same thing happened to me, almost the same thing happened to me, almost the same thing happened to me. And next thing you know, you got 12 people that
Mm-hmm.
very similar things have happened to. And then, hey, they can help each other. They can
Mm-hmm.
affect their community
Right.
and change their community. And then their community changes their city. And the city slightly changes the county, and so on and so forth. I
Yep.
mean, it's a ripple effect.
Yeah,
It truly is. It's a ripple effect, and but no one would ever know if no one said anything.
exactly. Well, thank you for sharing your story and, putting yourself into, and I think a lot of times too, it's like getting outside your comfort zone and then knowing, hey, you know, I'm going to be welcomed and perceived by those who are ready for it. And when
Right,
those that aren't ready at the moment and they
right,
become ready, I'll be there. So
right,
that's cool.
right.
And then everyone's empowered at the same time. So
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
that's
Because
awesome.
they're there, they're out
Mm-hmm.
there. Those who are ready and those who are not ready,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and I want to be ready.
Well, you are ready. You're
I,
one of the ambassadors, I presume.
I want to be ready. I don't want to, I don't want to be not ready. I don't want to be caught off guard. I want to be
Yeah.
ready. I want to be ready and actively um, doing my part to create this evolution of mankind and our ascension. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be actively participating in whatever way, even minute, because like I said, it's a jigsaw puzzle, and
Yep.
every little puzzle, those 1,000 puzzles
Yep.
you worked on when you were a kid,
Yep.
those little pieces, and some just don't go right, but then you figure out, oh, it wasn't supposed to go there, it goes here. And we're all like that. But then, man, when you get done,
Yeah.
wow, Yosemite National Park. Remember that post?
Then you feel so good. You're on top of the world and you tell everybody.
Yeah, I
Look at
finished my
this.
1,000 piece puzzle. Those are
Absolutely.
phenomenal.
I love the way you think. You have a very what is it called? It was just on the tip of my tongue. Metaphoric type of, and you're visualizing you speak. So that's really nice. I like that. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you coming forward and sharing your story in Awakening Starseed. And I'm kind of curious, what's next up for you? Do you have, are you working on another project, or what do you have lined up?
I'm so open right now. I'm so open to whatever life has to offer me. I'm not even visualizing or anything. I'm not even, when you get that open, you're a blank piece of paper, and you just want to see what happens. It's like when you're a kid and you just go outside and you don't have any plans to ride your bike, to play hide and seek, to do anything. You just want to get out there and see what nature has to show you,
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, do you want to play over here? Do you want to play over here? And that's exactly how I'm looking at the next chapter in my life. It's like it's a it's a whole backyard full of whatever, and I'm going out there and I'm going to uncover whatever approaches me, because you're just open to whatever happens,
One step at a time, one pebble step at a time.
stepping stone at a time,
Yeah,
and they're strategically placed in front of you just as
yeah,
you need it, just
yeah.
as you need it.
Well, I can appreciate your positivity and, the ability to have trust in the process like that. And that's a great example to be. So thank you for sharing. And I really appreciate you being with us here today. I'm going to go
Thank
ahead
you.
and let everybody know that if you need to get, is there a way that they can reach you? Because I'm going to drop it in the links below. Do you have a
Yes,
website that I can give them? Okay, great. So we'll put that
yes.
down below. And of course, if you guys have any questions on Rata Publishing and would like to work with us, just go ahead and message down below. We will put the link there. And thank you so much for your time today, Gina. Really appreciate you and look forward to seeing you in your book.
Thank you.